Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to a predictions video. Now Championship and Premier League are back, brilliant. But today I'm bringing you my Championship predictions. But first of all, I'm going to do a little cheeky plug for you. I have recently done an article for someone by the name of Luke Turton. Luke wrote it. He approached me to be in said article to talk about Hull City. So please go check it out down below. I'll also leave Luke's Instagram in the description as well. Why not? Go and show the article some love. Go and follow him on Instagram. Now let's get into my Championship predictions. So on this side of the screen will be the current Championship table. On this side of the screen will be my predicted Championship table. Now, I've got it all saved on a document here, which I'm going to just have a little look through, see how it goes, and just run through everything that goes on. The way we're going to do this is going to be, we're going to go from the relegation zone upwards. So we're going to go from relegation zone to up to about 13th. Then we'll go from 12th to 7th. Then we'll do the playoffs. Then we'll do the final predictions of the top two. Then we'll chuck the playoff winners in there as well. So, start off with the relegation zone. Who am I putting in there? You will see it here. I'm starting off with Barnsley, Luton and Charlton. Now, you may be thinking, oh Joe, you're biased not putting Hull City in here. To be honest, I probably am a little bit. Because I want us to stay up, you know what I mean? But Barnsley, I've looked at the run-ins. We've all got to play top clubs as bottom four. But I think Barnsley have a harder run-in than Luton and Charlton do. So I think Barnsley will finish bottom. I've then gone for Luton below Charlton. I think it will be close because Charlton have obviously had a couple of players say they're not going to play because it will harm their future prospects if they get injured because the contracts are up and they're going to run them down. Lyle Taylor is one of them. He's someone I'd take at City, God forbid. But yeah, Luton, I think, with Nathan Jones back, I think that'll give them a bit of a new lease of life. Put some, kick, put a spring in their step, if you will. And that will keep them off the foot of the table where they've been for so long. As for Charlton, I've already said it, I think they will continue to be above those two sides, but it will get closer the longer the season goes on with Luton. Now, Charlton, obviously, if they go down, they will probably go bust, which is a shame, and the EFL should be doing more to prevent that. This time, it's not that Charlton have had terribly bad ownership like Bolton or Bury. They've just not used their money adequately, as far as I know. So, Charlton, Luton and Barnsley are my bottom three. Now then, it is 21st up to 13th. I have gone for, in 21st place, Hull City. Now, I don't think we'll get any higher up the table, but I don't see us getting any lower. I can see us losing games, don't get me wrong. We've still got to play like West Brom, Bristol City, Millwall, Cardiff. I can see us losing games. But I can see us picking up points where we need to and picking up more points than Charlton, Luton and Barnsley, two of which we've still got to play. Charlton first match back, Luton final home game of the season. So those two games will be massive for the complexion of the relegation battle. But I think James Scott coming back will be phenomenal for us. I think he will do a brilliant job as he comes into the side. And Grant McCann's already said in an article that James Scott is everything he wanted him to be. And I think that puts us in good stead. And with Lewis Potter off the bench as well, Eves can sometimes put one in the back of the net. McGuinness, bit more inconsistent than Eves is, but can still do it sort of. No Norbert Balogun anymore. Wilkes can do it. I'm sure that Maddison can pull it out on the big stage because he'll want to move in the Championship. He'll want to stay in the Championship. I said that in a video a couple of days ago. He wants to stay in this league. Whether it's with us or with another team. He's not dropping down to League One. He will want to show that he's capable of doing it at this level, which he hasn't done so far. So it will be Hull City in 21st. I've gone, well, if I'm honest, these next 4 were really close. It's Borough in 20th, Wigan 19th, Stoke 18th and Huddersfield 17th. Any of those 3 can finish in any order. Borough can maybe slip down. Wigan can maybe slip down as well into 21st, but I don't see them getting relegated. That might be being a little bit nice on Hull City, but, you know, as a fan, you are biased. At the end of the day, it's just the way it is. Dulun, dulun, dulun. If you know that song, leave a like. Anyway, yeah, Borough 20th. I can see them just picking up less points than the others, if I'm honest. Wigan, I can see having a pretty difficult run against some mid-table and lower sides that they've got to play. Because, you know, they are potential banana skins, as we Hull City fans found out against Barnsley twice this season. Typical City, eh? Yeah, Wigan, can see them having a difficult run, but just about picking up enough points to get ahead of Borough. Stoke, again, there are potential banana skins in their run, but I can see Stoke picking up points where necessary, and the same with Huddersfield. I mean, when I'm recording this, I can see that the friendlies Huddersfield they played us. It took our kids to come on for them to bring it back. So so they might slip down to 19th, 20th, but I can see Huddersfield staying up no matter what. 16th, Birmingham. Jude Bellingham will pretty much carry them, I reckon. He's a good young prospect. Yes, he's only 16, 17. See him just, you know, picking them up, putting them on his shoulders, carrying them, and therefore getting a move to Man United or Borussia Dortmund. Because it'll be one of them two. Man United will pay ridiculous money, or Borussia Dortmund will just be smart with how to spend it, like Haaland or Sancho. Reading, 15th, just there, I think, really. Just below Sheffield Wednesday and Derby, who were in 14th and 13th. I think they'll pick up points where necessary and stay in about mid-table. Nowhere near getting relegated. And I'd say at the current table, anywhere down to, say, Sheffield Wednesday or a Derby could get promoted. It's that tight for the playoffs. It's mad. After the difficult start that Derby had, Wayne Rooney's come in, picked them up, said, lads, get sorted. No, not for that. Here you go. Lads, get sorted. I'm glad to be back in England after my difficult time in the untied states of America. I really struggled to get past the language barrier, but you Rams, you've been playing very sheepish this season. So, just gonna call me mate Joe Ledley. He likes sheep. Sorry, I'm so sorry. That was horrendous. Derby 13th, Wednesday 14th, Reading 15th, Birmingham 16th, Huddersfield 17th, Stoke 18th, Wigan 19th, Borough 20th, and Hull City 21st. Now we're going to go from 12th up to 7th. And we're starting off with Swansea. Now, Swansea. Can see them having a bit of a mixed bag in terms of results. But once again, I can see them just doing enough. They've got the players to do that. Ryan Brewster, Andre Ayew, Jordan Garrick He came off the bench in that 4-4 draw, scored. They've got the good players to do that. They've got Joe Rodon at the back. They've got Freddie Woodman in goal. They have got a good team, a very good team. They were in the Premier League a couple of years ago. Who's to say they can't get back there? Me, because I've put them 12th. But in the future, who's to say they can't get back there? But yeah, Swansea, see them having a mixed bag, but they've got the quality players to pick up the points where they need to and finish bang smack in the middle of this league. Blackburn, Danny Graham. Danny Graham was a flop for us at Hull City, but he can still do a job, prove that. Adam Armstrong, good player, and they nearly scored within like the first 8 seconds in our 3-0 defeat to them at Ewood Park. They've got the quality, and I think they will be solid mid-table. Now, this is a side who I've sort of jumbled about a little bit. QPR. QPR have the potential to really push into that playoffs. They've got good players, Hugh Gill, Eze, just a couple. They've got the potential, if they get on a good run of form, which I can see them doing, propelling. I think they're about 14th in the table now. Can see them going right up that table into 10th, 9th, maybe even higher, pushing against Preston, Millwall, those sorts of teams who are challenging for playoffs. Bristol City in the current table. So, QPR, I can see them having a good run of form. Same for Cardiff, really. Just staying where they are, being solid, being quite consistent, doing what they need to do, and going home. Solid season for Cardiff. Neil Chopper Harris, as he's known at Millwall, will finish below his old side. But, solid season for Cardiff, just with no Neil Warnock. Yeah, as I said, Millwall in 8th. They've had a very good season, Millwall. Gone quite under the radar. Just been steadily building the way up, and now they're fighting for playoffs. They could still get playoffs. I must stress, anyone from about 14th can get playoffs. It's crazy. I'd say anyone from Reading upwards could get playoffs. It's mad. It's mad. It's so tight this season at both ends. It could go either way. Either way for a lot of teams. Then 7th I've gone for Preston. Currently in the playoffs, I can see them slipping out of it. Just don't think they'll have enough. I think they'll do quite well first, 5 games, then the last 4 games of the season just drop off, hit the cliff, drop, might get hit with injuries, and they'll just slide out of that playoff position. Speaking of the playoffs, there's 6 teams left for me to talk about. They are West Brom, they are Leeds, they're Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Fulham and Bristol City as well. What order have I put them in? I'm trying to skip through it on my computer. There we go. Bristol City I've put in 6th. I think they're just the weakest of the sides that are left in the playoffs. I think they're a better side than Preston's. Preston have got a very good side, but I can see them pushing up, being consistent, like QPR, like I said Cardiff will be, and just sitting there when I've said Preston will have their predicted drop off. And the reason they're 6th, they are as I've said, the weakest of the sides left, in my opinion. Then I've gone for Fulham in 5th. They're currently in 3rd, I believe, so I can see them having a little, steep, well, not steep, just gradual decline. Start off quite well, win 2 or 3, then a couple of draws, maybe 1 or 2 defeats. Boom. Puts them down in 5th. Nottingham Forest in 4th. See Forest having a very good end to the season and only been bettered by Brentford because of the fact that Brentford have scored a couple more goals, maybe picked up a win when Forest have got a draw, put them above them, whatever. But yeah, Brentford in 3rd, very good team, beat us 5-1 twice in the space of 2 seasons, 4 games, 2 5-1 defeats. What does that tell you? When did we play them earlier? Drew 1-1 at Griffin Park. Yeah, I remember that. I was watching that in the bar at Turkey. But yeah, that's my playoff positions. Now, who is going to be the top two? It is Leeds and West Brom. Hot take. It's a hot take. But I think Leeds will finish second. Once again, might be bias. But I can see Leeds always have a little bit of a drop off towards the end of the season. I don't see it being as big this time because I think Bielsa will drill it into them. They're the fittest they'll ever be towards the end of the season. They've had 3 months off, for goodness sake. So I can see Leeds, having their little end of season blip that they normally have, but still being in the automatic promotion places. And Leeds United will play Premier League football next season. But West Brom at the top, can see them just being consistent. I can see West Brom winning every game. I can see, Leeds, they normally have their little blip, and as for every team, there are potential banana skins. West Brom play us. We could be their banana skin. But, I can see Leeds having their little end of season blip, which will allow West Brom to, say Leeds have a 2-3 game blip, every game matters now. West Brom will take points where Leeds don't. Boom, up the table, West Brom will go up as champions. All that's left is my playoff winner. And who will that be? Dun dun dun! Brentford. Brentford, I think, will win the playoffs and be back in the Premier League after their final year at Griffin Park and have the Brentford Community Stadium for their first year back in the Premier League. How good will that be for Brentford? I can see it being a Brentford Forest final. If I'm correct in thinking, 3rd place, 5th and 4th place, 6th, yeah? If I'm right in thinking that. I'm so confused with the playoffs. Playoff Championship. I believe it's 3rd and 5th, or 3rd and 6th, 4th and 5th, something like that. But I can see, the way I've set the table up, Brentford and Forest won't play each other. I can see them being in the playoff final at Wembley, behind closed doors, and empty Wembley. Things I've never seen the likes of since the first Wembley Cup. But I can see Brentford just having the better, day that time round. Therefore, the 3 teams going up will be the 1st, 2nd and 3rd place sides. And if for some reason they can't run the playoffs and they go in terms of league position, Brentford are in prime position. So it's sort of, I never actually weighed that up when I thought of these predictions, but just talking to the camera now, I've weighed that up and I just thought of it really. So yeah, West Brom will go up as champions, Leeds will get the 2nd automatic spot, and Brentford in 3rd will end up being the playoff winners. Thank you very much for watching my predictions. Please check out Luke and the article I was featured in down in the description below. Also my socials as well are down there. My Twitter, my Instagram, Either Tiger Podcast Instagram, Ethan's Instagram, my podcast co-host is down there as well, giving a little plug, even though he's not in the video. It's just what I do. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.